This is the second version of the Framework Laptop 16. This thing is pretty much the antichrist to a MacBook with a heavy emphasis on upgradability, customization, and personalization. And for 2025, it's been improved with a host of new upgrades, components, CPUs, and finally the long requested NVIDIA GPU module. So let's build the Framework Laptop 16 to find out what it's all about. Now, I always love unboxing a Framework laptop because they always have a lot of stuff to do, and I really like that. Most of the time nowadays, you just open a box and tech comes out and you're done. We've got stickers, we've got a bezel, we've got another bezel, we've got keyboard spacers. Underneath that, we've got, LED matrix, RGB macro pad. And right off the bat, this whole unboxing experience for the latest version is arguably unnecessary because every single change made for this updated version is backwards compatible with the original Framework 16. We have the new 240 watt USB-C charger. This new Framework 16 now supports more external displays, 4 instead of 3. You can plug in for display out and charging over the same port, which you couldn't do before. Oh, we've even got iPhone 17 Pro bezel. So we now have all of the ingredients that we need to put together the ultimate Framework Laptop 16. This is a tremendous amount of customization. This is something that an Apple user could only dream of. Let's get right to it, right after a word from today's video sponsor. Around the holiday season, as you're searching through the attic for decorations, it's not unusual to wonder, man, I gotta get rid of all this clutter. Well, why define that thinking to just your closets? Today's video sponsor, Clean My Mac, is perfect year-round for keeping your Mac running at its very best. Clean My Mac's latest version is ideal for protecting your Mac from malware, resource-consuming battery drains, junk files, cluttered cloud storage, and more. Their Smart Care function easily provides a detailed overview of your system where you can easily sort and manage the contents of your drive. It can even direct its power at your trusted cloud services, including iCloud, OneDrive, and Google Drive, to make plenty of room for the 500 family photos it takes to find one where nobody is blinking. Plus, the helpful menu app lives up in the top right corner for fast insights and solutions on the fly, keeping your spirits up this holiday season. So get tidy today. Try 7 days free and use my code LukeMiani20 to get 20% off. A big thanks to Clean My Mac for sponsoring. Now let's get back to the video. As we go ahead and unsheath the Framework Laptop 16, this is the fully spec'd model. So we have AMD's Ryzen AI 9 HX370 paired with the new GeForce RTX 5070 GPU expansion module. Now, if you're not familiar, Framework kind of pioneered this new system for upgradable GPUs in a laptop, and it really couldn't be simpler to access. If we open up the laptop, we can remove this protective cover. Ooh, look at that. That's very high quality. Then we just flip up this little tab here and remove a couple of screws that connect the graphics to the main board. That connector piece lifts out of the way. And then there's just 2 little captive retention screws. And then you can simply remove the graphics card entirely. Look at that. So here's the RTX 5070 with 8 gigs of VRAM on this little module. There's also a new revised fan architecture here, which is supposed to be quieter. And if you want the new graphics module, but you already have a Framework 16, it's as easy as buying the standalone version and those 6 screws, and you're good to go. It's also worth noting that if you don't need that extra graphics horsepower, you can replace that module with an SSD enclosure, so you can add a whole bunch more storage. But we're nowhere near done with the build for this laptop because everything is fully customizable and removable. So we can go ahead and take off these spacer pieces. We can go ahead and remove the trackpad, and then we have a whole bunch of very clearly labeled screws to get access to the interior. Look at how this thing is laid out. It's basically the opposite of a MacBook, because you open up a MacBook, it's very pretty, but you can't really do anything. In here, you can do everything. But for today, we're gonna stick with the 1 terabyte mini drive on this lower slot and a 2 terabyte drive on the top slot. And there goes 32 gigabytes of memory. We'll go ahead and put the mid plate back in. Let's put the keyboard on. And I wanna try these LED matrix spacers, which connect super easily. Look at that, there's pogo pins over here. So you just let it slide into place. no wires necessary. And those same pogo pins come in handy with the trackpad because there are 3 different connection points. If you want your trackpad on the right, the middle, or the left, you can put it wherever. I, of course, like a centered aesthetic. Look, you can take a man out of a MacBook, but you can't take the MacBook out of the man. And moving up to the display now, we have an updated panel this year that supports G-Sync. Now that makes sense because we have NVIDIA GPUs. So let's go ahead and get our festive fall themed bezel installed. We can close the display, and in fact on the other side is an update as well. This new CNC'd top panel is more rigid than the outgoing one. Well, let's put that to the test, shall we? Here's the old model right next to it. Can we actually feel a difference? Here goes the old display, and here's the new one. Okay, it's a very subtle difference. I wouldn't go out and buy a new top panel if that's what you're after. All right, we're almost done with the build now, I promise, but just a couple things left to go. We've got some expansion modules to choose from. We've got an Ethernet, look at that. It does stick out a little bit, so this isn't one that I would probably leave installed. We've got a festive fall themed USB-C. I think we're gonna have to put that in to match the bezel. Then I've got SD card. Yeah, let's have SD card. We've got USB-A, USB-C. We'll have both of those. And then I've got a choice. I could do audio, I could do HDMI, or I could have yet more storage. This is a 250 gigabyte SSD expansion that plugs in right over USB. How convenient is that? So that's the process for building your Framework 16. This is such a refreshing approach to consumer electronics, and even though you will pay a price premium to go for a Framework compared to another Windows PC with similar specs, I think it's worth investing in this chassis because all of the new stuff that I pointed out today, you can install in your existing Framework 16. You don't even have to buy a new one. So let's go ahead and install Windows on this thing and we can check it out. So while this is definitely a spec bump upgrade, Framework has made changes across the board. We have a new display with G-Sync, the new graphics, the new CPU, a new fan blade design for quieter performance, support for 4 displays instead of 3, a new thermal compound for cooler running chips, Wi-Fi 7, and that more rigid top cover. Framework is now also launching an SSD expansion module, and this arrived in a little box that just happens to fit perfectly into the original shell that I received with my previous Framework laptop over a year ago. It's just so cool to be unboxing and installing this SSD upgrade to a piece that I've already had for a year. With just 4 screws, you can pop this in, and now you have 2 additional NVMe slots. That's 4 total, which means that you could very easily put like 32 terabytes of NVMe SSD in this thing, plus those additional USB-C storage expansions. This thing is an absolute beast. And of course, because this is Framework, if you want any of those parts individually, you are more than able to do that on the website, buying each individual component that was changed. But when we put it all together and you look at just the Framework Laptop 16 2nd generation, there are a lot of noticeable improvements over the 1st gen. In Cinebench 2024, the new Ryzen AI 9 HX370 does about 20% better than the previous Ryzen 9 7940HS, but Apple is the performance king right now, and neither of these chips are even close to where the M4 Pro and Max are scoring. But in some more practical tests in Blender Classroom on the CPU, we find that the Ryzen AI 9 shaves about 1.5 minutes off of the previous generation, although again is still behind the M4 Pro and Max. And in the GPU test, surprisingly, I mean, look at this. Apple's got some crazy stuff going on. The M4 Pro and Max are significantly faster than an RTX 5070. That is kind of wild. But of course, the 5070 is still gonna smoke the RX 7700S, and we see that trend carry through in Cyberpunk 2077, running at 1440p with ray tracing ultra settings. NVIDIA is just the GOAT. You're getting 51 FPS, very playable compared to the other two. While a MacBook Pro might be able to outperform it in a lot of tasks, the benefit of a Framework is that you have that versatility. If we take that Blender result, for example, you could go from 1 minute and 7 seconds on the old model to 38 seconds on the new model without having to buy a new computer. That is super compelling, but it does beg the question, Is an upgradable form factor like this worth investing in? Because you're paying that price premium compared to another Windows laptop with similar specs, and the parts aren't cheap. Framework is selling the RTX 5070 module for $600, so I wanted to find out, would it be cheaper to just buy a new laptop every couple of years, selling your previous one on eBay or Swappa or something like that, or would it make sense to buy and piecemeal upgrade through Framework directly? Well, starting with the MacBook comparison, Apple Silicon has actually been depreciating more than I would have expected. So whereas a new M4 Max MacBook Pro is $3,700, the previous generation M3 Max, well, they sell for around $2,000. That means in just 1.5 to 2 years, you're losing $1,700 on Apple's highest end computers. And switching over to Windows, if you were to buy a similarly priced Asus ROG Zephyrus G16, which has an OLED 1600p display, Intel Core Ultra 9 285H, a 5070 Ti, as well as 32 gigabytes and 2 terabytes, well, you're gonna get a little bit better specs for the same amount of money. That is undeniable. However, if we go and find the previous generation with an OLED display, Ryzen 9 8945HS, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, and an RTX 4070, this thing sold for just $1,500. So again, in just 1 or 2 years, a single generation, you're losing $1,300 if you were to sell that computer and buy a new one. But if you were to buy this Framework laptop for like $2,800, you could buy a new GPU for $600, sell your old one for, I imagine, at least $150. And so you're at $450 to upgrade the GPU instead of having to take the loss on the whole computer and sell that and upgrade. Honestly, I think the math works out here, folks. And now keep in mind, I'm just comparing a single generation. I don't think there's that many people that are going M3 Max to M4 Max or going from Asus to Asus just because they want a 5070 instead of a 4070. But I imagine if you were to spread this out over a couple of years, I mean, Windows laptops depreciate like a piano falling down a brick staircase, so I don't think that the math would look a whole lot different. But when I say the Framework Laptop 16 is the anti-MacBook, it's not just because of its focus on repairability, it's also its focus on customization. Every MacBook is pretty much identical and has been for forever. Framework has all of that functionality built right in. We can have multicolored bezels, different keyboard arrangements with numpads, macro pads. You can move the trackpad around. You can put these LED spacers, which have a really simple web tool to allow you to customize it. There's a bunch of patterns. You can even draw your own with the trackpad, and it works extremely seamlessly. You don't have to download any software or anything. You can switch the I/O around, switch the color of the I/O. They've even open sourced this interface, and you can print your own modules and do literally whatever you want. And it's this laptop, the 16-inch, that really makes Framework feel like it lived up to its name. In the past year, I've reviewed the Framework Laptop 12 and the Framework Desktop, and both of those, I have to say, I think are a little bit off base. While they definitely have that air of Framework funk to them, they're lacking the real upgradability. The only thing you can do is RAM and storage, and that to me doesn't feel that different from a lot of other Windows laptops to justify the price premium, but in this case, I think it absolutely does. I love these machines, and in addition to just making cool stuff, they're like really chill and easy to deal with. I had some troubleshooting issue last year with the original Framework 16 because I was getting a pre-production unit, and I ended up just kind of going back and forth with the CEO over email. I mean, like, the level that they just care about their products is so refreshing. So thank you guys so much for watching this little tour of the anti-MacBook Part 2. I think that Framework is doing some really cool stuff, and I would love to see Apple kind of start to take the hint that maybe upgradability is in. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but only time will tell. Thank you for watching. Leave a like down below, and I'll see you in the next one.